So with this video, I would like to dismantle the only real argument that the leftists have for why we should listen to them and consider their policies of increasing government control and ultimately total government control, supposedly worker control, but that will never happen. Their main argument, well, first I should note that they do have a secondary argument, and that is that, quote, it's not fair. Nothing's fair. It's not fair that some people make more. It's not fair that workers have to work as many hours as they do. It's not fair that certain things aren't free. I'm leaving that argument aside. It's not really a serious argument that's very convincing. The main argument they have is look at what's happening currently in capitalism. Capitalism is failing us. Look at the problems we have. And we need to get rid of capitalism because look what capitalism does. Look at the negative outcomes. Well, this is a dishonest, totally fallacious argument. What the leftists always do is claim we have unfettered, laissez-faire, free market capitalism. Never mind that every headline, every day, is about government control of something or other, and over the course of the year, every single thing that takes place in the economy, government has control of. Why do we vote so hard and want our candidate to win? It's so that they can have total control over the economy and social policies also, and dominate the other side. The government controls, to some degree or another, just about everything that happens in the economy. But the leftists pretend that there is not government control, and they say that's free market capitalism and it's not working. Again, totally fallacious. When you have the definition of socialism is government or societal control over the means of production. That means to the degree, to the extent that the government is affecting or controlling or setting parameters in the marketplace, the government is controlling that part of the means of production. And again, the government controls a very large degree. We don't have free market capitalism. We have part capitalism, part socialism, just like every country. Every country has a degree of socialism. There is no free market in the world, and there never has been. And our economy is increasingly controlled by the government. So the negative outcomes that the leftists cite about the problems with capitalism are not problems with capitalism. There are problems with socialism. They are outcomes that are the result of government intervention and interference in the marketplace. So, for example, we have a screwed up healthcare industry because government gives the AMA, American Medical Association, total monopoly control over the supply of doctors, which limits the amount of med schools and the amount of people that can be doctors. We have a shortage of doctors. They control the hospitals. We have a shortage of hospitals. And you can't just go build a hospital privately and start one. You have to have government permission. And permission is regularly denied. So we restrict the supply of healthcare services. And then we have a government-controlled system where we don't pay for our own healthcare for the most part. We have government or employer insurance that pays for our healthcare. And so we have virtually unlimited demand for health care because it doesn't cost us anything or cost us very much. So we go and incur health care costs, and the insurance companies and the government just pay it. That's how we get to a point where it cost my mother last month $12,000 a day just to be in the hospital. It cost something like $30,000 to have a baby. Ridiculous, unbelievable prices that could never take place in a free market. So that is completely the result of government control. Same with inflation. Prices can only rise if the government adds more money to the economy through the central bank. The government controls the central bank. It's the only entity that can create money. It creates money faster than the economy can produce goods and services. So whereas in a free market, prices would fall every year due to the increased supply of goods and services, in our economy, prices rise every year because the government keeps printing money and adds money to the economy faster than we can create goods and services. Similarly, the printing of money is the main factor causing inequality and lets the rich become ever richer relative to the poor. That's by way mainly of stock market gains. So the inflation, the money the government prints, makes things expensive for the poor who don't hold stocks, but the rich people and even middle class own a lot of stocks. So that more than offsets the price inflation. So they get wealthier and wealthier while the poor get poorer. Similarly, we have unemployment only because of government endorsed or enforced regulations allowing unions and institutes a minimum wage policy, both of which artificially raise the cost of labor. So when we pay artificially high wage rates, that leaves not enough money to pay for everyone. Well, forget the money. That would take a while to explain. Just think of it, if someone's only capable of producing $15 an hour of goods, but the government says you must pay them at least $16, I meant $16 worth of goods in an hour, and the government says you have to pay them $16 an hour, well, they won't be employed. They're unprofitable to employ. So the government makes it not legal to freely negotiate wages. So those are the reasons we have unemployment. Recessions, financial crises, caused solely, again, by central bank money printing and distorting the prices in the economy. I mean, think about it. The government controls the quantity of money in the economy and the price of money, interest rates. That's total control over key aspects of the economy. So, similarly with wars, we know that's total government control. No corporations are going to war. So all of these factors, all of these problems that we have are from government control of the economy and of society in general to a large degree. So again, the leftists cite all of these things as problems with capitalism. They don't even allow us to consider that we don't have capitalism, that capitalism is interfered with on a daily basis in every industry across the nation, and is outright controlled in an industry like education, or largely controlled in the banking sector, airline sector, healthcare sector. And it gets worse and worse. And the more problems we have as a result of these things, the more government intervenes and causes more problems. And what do the leftists do? They say, look at that. Capitalism's failing again. It's total BS. Capitalism works if you let it. Free markets work if you let them. Markets clear if you let them. And we have no such thing. So the left can get away with this main lie only because people don't understand this. And even though they read the headlines and see that government's dictating control of most everything, they still think somehow we have capitalism. And it's just not true. So that is how the left gets away with lies, and how people vote for socialism and more leftist policies, because they don't understand that the problem is not capitalism, but a lack of capitalism.